all. All right. By now, you've heard all about a judge shooting down New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg's plan to ban large, sugary drinks, just hours before it was supposed to start. Well, now Mayor Bloomberg says he's going to appeal. So, is there any way the ban actually lives? All right, Judge Napolitano is here. What's the answer to the question?
Well, I don't know what the answer to the question is. It's such a hot-button issue here in New York because we are filled with nanny staters in the government and amongst the populace. There are people who actually want the government to take care of them. The job of the judge here is not to decide whether this is wise, but whether it is lawful.
Exactly.
And the essence of his ruling was pretty basic stuff. The mayor enforces the law. He doesn't write the law. The city council writes the laws. So the mayor can't write a law on his own, whether through the guise of a health board, all of whose members he appointed. He can propose it to the city council and let there be a great debate, and the city council will decide whether or not.
Is that why the judge rejected the ban?
Yes.
I thought he said it was arbitrary and capricious because it only applied to some drinks of certain sizes.
That's the secondary reason. The phrase arbitrary and capricious is a technical phrase when the court is reviewing a decision of an administrative agency. Here, the administrative agency is the Board of Health. So the Board of Health has broad discretion to regulate matters with respect to health. If they are arbitrary and capricious, the phrase in the statute that authorizes review of their decisions, then the court can invalidate what they've done.
So the mayor goes back to the city council and has them write the law, very similar to what he's already written himself, resubmits it, and do you think it passes?
Well, then there'll be a different challenge. Then the challenge will be, this is an area of human behavior not regulable by any government. That was not the challenge this time around. Or the challenge will be, this is a material interference with interstate commerce. New York City is the hub of the commercial activity for the 100 million people that live in New York City or in the 50-mile radius around it. And only the Congress can regulate interstate commerce, not the city council. So there'll be a different set of challenges next time around.
Make a judgment on the challenges. Do they succeed? I mean, is this ban...
Well, in my view, they obviously, I think they should succeed. But I would argue that it's an area of human behavior not regulable by any government, how much soda pop you want to take. The reason he said it was arbitrary and capricious is because if soda pop is so bad for you, why is it a lawful product? Or if it's so bad for you to consume more than 16 ounces, why can you buy two 16-ounce containers instead of one 32-ounce container?
Do you think this was an overall ruling on the nanny state?
I wish it were. I think it was a technically accurate ruling on the manner in which the regulation came about, and I think it is fatal to this regulation. It doesn't mean they'll try it again.
But it did speak to an abuse of power.
Yes, it did. I think this is more than a brushback pitch to the mayor. I think this is a strike at his legacy in the waning days of his mayoralty, and I don't think he'll be mayor when or if this ban is ever revived.
All right, Judge, hold on to your temper for a second, because I'm going to quote Piers Morgan.
I can't imagine he's on our side.
That's a lousy English accent for him. All right, he says, I think people need the nanny state occasionally, particularly on issues like smoking, drinking, guzzling sodas that are too big for them, eating 16 Big Macs a day, whatever it may be. The reality is we all need a little bit of nannying about us.
He needs some nanny about him.
I suggest he goes back where he came from, but that's rather
that's up to you.
Only you can say that, not I.
Right. Do you have anything to add to Piers?
I can't imagine that Great Britain would have regulations of this magnitude. Am I wrong? Can you buy a 32-ounce bottle of soda pop in a shop in London?
I think you can.
So Pierce is.
I don't know. Look,
essentially,
I'm not in
what
touch
all of
with
these guys are saying is that if you put a big gulp in front of us, a Big Mac, or even a gun, as human beings, we just can't resist shooting the gun, eating a Big Mac, and slurping down.
Not resist. He's saying that we're too dumb.
We just can't. Right? We're just so dumb that we need some intellectual to tell us how to live our lives because they're doing it for us. After all, we're just too stupid to do it for ourselves.
Well, government plays the role of parent all too often.
That is my argument. Government is without the lawful and moral authority to use its judgment in place of our own for personal choices. And what to consume and how much of it to consume is quintessentially a personal choice.
You know, I think
Do you agree?
I do agree with you.
All
yes.
right. I'm glad to see that smile.
Thank you, Judge. Great stuff.